And now, please welcome our distinguished president, Dr. William Destler.
Good afternoon and welcome. As president of RIT, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you all as we commemorate our 32nd annual celebration in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. The impact of Dr. King's accomplishments resonates with us today, and we are proud to celebrate his life by welcoming the multi-talented author and talk show host and distinguished keynote speaker Tavis Smiley, along with young Curtis Babbers, winner of the 2013 Gaudaire Oratory Competition, as well as singer and Eastman School of Music student Whitney Morrison, accompanied by pianist Dr. Wayne Buckner. As a special treat to the Rochester community, we invite you to join us this evening at East High School from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock for a two-panel discussion entitled State of Race in Rochester, 50 Years After the 1964 Riots. These discussions will focus on the current state of race relations in Rochester and on the impact of the civil rights movement in 1964 and the associated riots, and what impact they continue to have as we live today in Rochester. Our speaker, Tavis Smiley, has graciously agreed to moderate two panels, a Pioneers panel and a New Wave panel, and it should make for a spirited and educational evening. I'd like to thank James Norman and Action for a Better Community for their partnership and for developing this event. And now let's open today's program with three extraordinary students. They are seasoned poets from the award-winning RIT spoken word ensemble Mental Graffiti, and we are so pleased to have them with us today to perform their original piece entitled, There Is a War. Please join me in welcoming Alexis Harris, Lakeisha Brown, and Michelle Sasson.
There is a war on the streets of our world, a war filled with high heels and lip gloss.
We are women.
Cast into this world with a predisposition condemning our bodies to be objects.
You have heard this all before. There is nothing new in the struggle for equal life, equal strife, and acceptance. You have heard this all before.
But still, there seems to be a disconnect between what we say and what we do. The box of hypocrisy channeling our perception, creating deception in our views.
But we were all created from clay, molded from this earth, sprinkled with dust from the stars.
But the world has gotten small. Pictures form on paper, flattened ideas of perfection, confining us to a game of follow.
Follow
the leader.
We will always follow, or we will be lost, and then no one would be perfect. Let's play a game.
Follow us into this imitation station.
Mimic our movements.
Stay close to us with your eyes. Keep up. This is the 21st century. We don't have time to think. Just follow. Okay.
Simon says.
Simon says, touch your shoulders. Simon says, clap your hands.
Simon says, set your head. Simon says, tap your nose. Simon says, snap your fingers.
Simon says,
pull your ear, touch your hair, point your finger.
Find a black woman.
Point your finger. Touch her hair. Simon
says, be white.
Simon says, be black.
But we were born with our skins. Just as birds are born with feathers, the colors of their wings do not change the way they fly.
Humans cannot fly, but we are constantly trying to straighten our courses, hide our colors to match the label of beauty. Simon says,
straighten your hair and erase every trace of your powerful African ancestry. This generation remains lost among the masses of a world too small We have severed every rope that connects us to the past. It does not matter if it once hung on a lynching tree.
My mascara still comes in several shades of oppression,
But my mascara will always be black.
Simon says. Feed off of separation. Acknowledge your differences. Do not stand so close. You are all female, but some are just better at being women, Simon says.
Says.
Suck in your stomach.
Simon says expose your skin so nothing is hidden. Follow the path laid out by men and packed down by women who obeyed the map.
There is no privacy in procedure. Force your beauty to be heard through secret places.
Be a woman, cross the leg.
Sit straight.
Walk curves.
Simon says take your clothes off. Simon says take your clothes off.
Simon says take your clothes off.
Simon.
Simon says
Give up.
give up. Go with the crowd. It is better to follow than be left behind.
There is fear on the streets of our world. We hide in bunkers made of makeup and price tags.
You have heard this all before.
What we fear for our daughters.
Nieces,
Even
even
our
our sons.
Who will have to march the
Same streets as Simon says. We have remained motionless for too long. We are
So stuck in the comfort of acceptance. Rejection is the husband of hate.
This world has gotten small. Held in our fists, it is easy to be angry.
It is simple to blame.
But we are women. The world is in our hands.
Just as it is in the hands of every creature.
Man,
Child.
Black,
white,
Hispanic.
Arab,
Invisible.
indivisible.
alone, together, women, we are more powerful than we will admit.
It is simple to wave our arms and blame our misdirection on a faulty compass.
It is time to own up to the fact that we have followed it to the end of our humanity. We cannot allow evil to slip from our tongues.
So listen, stay close to us with your ears and listen. We are telling you right now, you are beautiful.
There is no reason to follow a concrete path lined with billboards and magazine pages.
TV screens and product placements. There is no reason to submit to the Simon Says of perfection.
You have heard this all before, but just in case you didn't catch it, here it is again. You are beautiful. When you follow something, follow love. It has no price tags.
Cover your body with it and comb it through your hair. Bloom with wings wide.
We are all perfect when we fly, so rise, rise like a fist in the air. We have power.
We were cast into this world already beautiful.
There is a war on the
Streets of our perception, but no longer. We are telling you right now, just in case you didn't catch it. Simon says.
Simon says.
Simon Says.
Simon says game over. Now, be free.
Can we just give it up again for those wonderful poets? Powerful. We are fortunate and blessed to get that from our students on the regular here at RIT, so that's just a taste. Thank you all so much. You know, we are truly fortunate at RIT to receive amazing support from the local Rochester community, from the RIT community, and from senior leadership within this fine institution. Many organizations can boast one or two of those supportive pillars, but to have hit the trifecta, the hat trick, if you will, makes this a very wonderful place to work, and I'm really appreciative of the opportunity to serve this community. I'm Kevin McDonald, Vice President and Associate Provost for Diversity and Inclusion here at RIT, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce this next extremely gifted individual. The Rochester area was introduced to Miss Whitney Morrison a couple of years ago when she visited the area with an elite vocal ensemble called the Aeolians from Oakwood University, a historically black institution in Huntsville, Alabama. Her visit served as the impetus behind her enrollment in the University of Rochester's highly acclaimed Eastman School of Music, where she is currently pursuing a graduate degree in music, in vocal performance, and literature. And while the Rochester area has been fortunate enough to be exposed to the amazing gift emanating from her vocal cords for over the last year or so, Whitney will be graduating this summer. Absolutely. Whitney is a native of Chicago, Illinois. She received a bachelor's degree in music in vocal performance and pedagogy from Oakwood University. She has traveled all over the world with the Aeolians and has also had the opportunity to study and perform in Germany as part of the Neil Semmer Vocal Institute. In 2010, Morrison won first place in the National Classical Singer University competition. She is also a two-time recipient of the United Negro College Fund John Lennon Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Wayne Buckner, Associate Professor for Piano and Chair of the Music Department at Oakwood University, will accompany Morrison on piano. Buckner received 2 undergraduate degrees from Oakwood University, one in piano performance and the other in computer science. His love for music, however, prevailed, and he furthered his academic aspirations by attaining a master's degree in music education at Alabama A&M University and a PhD in musical arts in piano performance at the University of Alabama. Whitney and Wayne will provide us with a total of 3 selections, 2 at this time and 1 to close out this afternoon's program. Please join me in welcoming the amazingly talented but refreshingly modest and humble Whitney Morrison and Dr. Wayne Buckner. Thank you.
I say thanks for the things you have done for me, things so undeserved, yet you gave to prove your love for me. The voices of a million angels cannot express my gratitude. All that I am and ever hope to be, I owe it all to thee. How can I say thanks for the many things you have done for little old me? Things so undeserved, yet you gave to prove that you loved me. The voices of a million angels could not express my gratitude. All that I am and ever hope to be, I owe it all to thee. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. To God be the glory for the things He has done. With His blood, He has saved me. With His power, He has raised me. To God be the glory for the things He has done. Just let me live my life. Let it be praising, Lord, to Thee. And should I gain any praise, let it go to God has raised
Thank you so much, Whitney. I just failed to mention that Whitney and Dr. Buckner will have CDs available to purchase after this afternoon's program.
Good afternoon. My name is Alex Jones. It is a pleasure to be with you all today. I am the chair of the NTID Diversity Group. The NTID Diversity Group is committed to promoting the best possible learning, living, and working experience for Alana members of the RIT NTID community. I have the great pleasure of introducing an extraordinary young man. Curtis Babers is a 5th grade student at Lockhart Elementary from Houston, Texas. Mr. Babers captured first place in the 2013 Gardeer MLK Jr. Oratory Competition in Houston with a poignant speech addressing the importance of obtaining an education, in his speech, he noted that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. himself earned a doctorate degree and used his knowledge to change a nation. Curtis hopes for a future where there will be less young men choosing a life of crime and more young men choosing a major in college. Having witnessed acts of desperateness and sorrow in his own community, this 11-year-old explained his passion for seeing others succeed, saying, "I can never reach my full potential because I need my fellow neighbors." When he is not winning competitions, his hobbies include singing, reading, stepping, and he loves robotics and enjoys programming computers. Please join me in giving Curtis a warm RIT welcome.
Good morning, Dr. Martin Luther King. My name is Curtis Babers, and I'm a 5th grade student at Lockhart Elementary. I have a dream for the future that is too beautiful to keep balled up in my heart. When I look at the present situation, I realize that my dream is possibly the light needed to dispel the dark degradation. You once said that faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. Your words inspired me to dream beyond what I can see. And what I see is too terrible for anyone to witness or experience. My campus is located in the heart of 3rd Ward, Houston. When I'm riding in the car with my mom, who is deaf, the scene is very disappointing. I see children walking by 3 or 4 beer stores on the way to school. My dream is to have a state-mandated law stating that beer stores could not be within a 5-mile radius of a school campus. School children should not have the fear or the temptation of what that other environment brings. Dr. King, you of all people know the importance of an educated mind. Before the march on Washington or the bus boycotts, you received a terrific education. My dream is that there'll be less young men choosing a life of crime and more young men choosing a major in college. I have a dream that one day there will be less young men in jail cells and more young men running businesses. I would like to tell these young men to stop blaming your circumstances on your parents, your situations, and your background. Your circumstance does not make you. Stop wasting your time in these clubhouses. Pursue a law degree and fight for justice in the courthouses. Dr. King, I also have a dream for these young women. I see more half-clothed women than fully clothed women. Every time I turn on the internet or the television, I see women aspiring to be these so-called vixens. My dream is that our young ladies would not aspire to be the next Rat Video or some baller's boo. My dream is that our young ladies would aspire to be women of virtue, treasured wives, and adored mothers. I see more hands holding cigarettes and fewer hands holding diplomas. I see homeless people living on the street with no food to eat. I see children suffering from hopelessness and who are in terrible situations. I believe everyone deserves health care and great doctors. My dream is that no more of God's children will go hungry or suffer dark, dreary nights wondering how things will turn out. Dr. King, you once said that I have the audacity to believe people everywhere can have 3 meals a day for their bodies, education, culture for their minds, dignity, equality, and freedom for their spirits. I completely agree wholeheartedly. I have a caring heart for all people. It hurts me to see other human beings living in boxes. But as you put it, now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley. My dream is that people would spend less time on their couches, watch reality television, and more time in a good book, expanding their minds. Dr. King, you may be thinking how a 4th grade African-American boy can such a heavy burden on his heart. Well, again, have to quote from one of your speeches. All life is interrelated, tied in a single garment of destiny. I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. As long as there are more minorities in jail, as long as there are beer stores or drugs in the perimeter of schools, as long as our young ladies are using their bodies for their advancement, as long as there is a single hungry child, I suffer. I can never reach my full potential because I need my fellow neighbors. Difficult and painful as it is, we must walk on in the days ahead with an audacious fate in the future. This is my dream for our future, Dr. King. I believe it shall brighten our tomorrows. Thank you for letting me share my dream with you.
Wow. Good afternoon. I am Tiana Magnon. I am currently a third-year student here at RIT with dual majors in journalism and political science. I am beyond excited to be here with you all today celebrating our annual Expressions of King's Legacy event. And I have the special honor of introducing our keynote speaker. From his celebrated conversations with world figures to his work to inspire the next generation of leaders, Tavis Smiley, a broadcaster, author, publisher, advocate, and philanthropist, has emerged as an outstanding voice for change. Smiley is currently the host of the late-night television talk show Tavis Smiley on, on PBS, as well as the Tavis Smiley Show from Public Radio International and the daily online radio program Tavis Talks on the Tavis Smiley Network on Blog Talk Radio. He's also written 16 books. His memoir, What I Know for Sure, My Story of Growing Up in America, became a New York Times bestseller, and the book he edited, Covenant with Black America, became the first nonfiction book by Black-owned publisher to reach #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list. In his latest New York Times bestseller, The Rich and the Rest of Us, A Poverty Manifesto, Smiley and his co-author, Dr. Cornel West, challenge all Americans to really re-examine our assumptions about poverty, what it really is, what it really looks like, and most importantly, how do we eradicate it? His forthcoming text, to be published in September, is Death of a King, the real story of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s final year. It's an eye-opening account of widespread assaults on his character, ideology, and political tactics, and how they shaped both the year leading up to his death and his lasting legacy, which we're celebrating still today. He is also the presenter and creative force behind America I Am, the African American imprint, an unprecedented traveling museum exhibition celebrating the extraordinary impact of African American contributions to our nation and to the whole world. The nonprofit Tavis Smiley Foundation recently announced a $3 million 4-year campaign called Ending Poverty, America's Silent Spaces, to alleviate endemic poverty in America. Time magazine has honored Smiley as one of the world's 100 most influential people. The Hollywood Chamber of Commerce recently announced that Smiley will be honored with his very own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, April 24th. So please join me in giving a very warm RIT welcome to Mr. Tavis Smiley.
I just told Tiana that may very well be the second nicest introduction I've ever received. And I only say second nicest, Tiana, because I was in Chicago the other day and the person to introduce me didn't show up and I did it myself. So other than that, it was awfully nice. And I appreciate the kind words. Let me start with a public apology to the president of this fine institution, Dr. Dessler, and his wonderful wife. I was supposed to have been here many hours ago, and after planes and trains and automobiles, I have finally arrived. I said to my assistant yesterday, if I take my shoes off one more time to walk through security and we don't go anywhere, I'm gonna have a come to Jesus meeting with somebody. I live in Los Angeles, I literally went to the airport 3 times yesterday to catch 3 different flights, and every one of them had some issue, and so I couldn't get out of LA until late yesterday evening, and got to Chicago last night and missed the connection, and so I am finally here. So I want y'all to know how much I love y'all, that I took planes and trains and automobiles to get here. Rochester's a great place, it just ain't easy to get to. So, Mr. President, thank you for the invitation, to you and your entire team. There's so many wonderful people. I don't want to start calling names of all the persons on your staff who've been so kind to me and so gracious with regard to extending the invitation and to making things so comfortable for this visit. So thank you for your invitation. Thank you for your leadership, the work that you do here. I appreciate you asking me, of all the persons who could have graced this podium today, this stage, thank you for the invitation to offer some thoughts about Dr. King. Now that I have adequately thanked the President for this invitation, if you ever do this to me again, which is to make me fly from LA to Rochester, to be embarrassed by all this talent on this stage, our friendship is over. It's just that simple. Did we see some talent up here today or what? Lord Jesus. I leaned over to the president. I said, well, there's one thing I am certain of before I get on the stage, and that is that I will be the least talented person to get on the podium today. And he said, that's why I spoke first. So the president has this all figured out. I guess he's done this once or twice. When I come back next time, I'll know to request to speak first before the singers and the poets. That young brother was just brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. So, thanks for putting me on now. That said, I want to offer some thoughts in the time that I have with you today. But I want to warn you that these thoughts about Dr. King, and let me just say up front that I regard Dr. King as the greatest American this country has ever produced. That's my own assessment. I was on one of the morning shows, Meet the Press or ABC, a few weeks ago. And I made this comment, and I was, I guess, not surprised, but it was interesting to see the volume of mail that I received. Of all the things I said on the show that day, this generated the most conversation. Was Tavis Smiley right about his assessment of Dr. King, that he is the greatest American the country's ever produced? I won't take the time today to make my case for why I feel so. But let me just suggest to you that while I could debate you on Abraham Lincoln, I could debate you on FDR, there are a lot of great Americans, no doubt about it. And because of the service and the sacrifice and the struggle of many, we are here today. But to my mind, Dr. King is the greatest American this country has ever produced. And if you want to debate me, meet me in the lobby, in the hallway, foyer afterwards, and we can talk about that particular aspect. The point is that I believe that whether we can agree on that or not, the future of this democracy, and this is not in any way hyperbolic, I mean this with every fiber of my being, the future of this democracy, I believe, is inextricably linked to how seriously we take the legacy of Dr. King. All these years later, how seriously we take his legacy determines the very fate and future of our very democracy. King's life ultimately was about justice for all, service to others, and a love that liberates people. That's his life in a nutshell. Justice for all, service to others, and a love that liberates people. Now, in his lifetime, there were 3 specific things that Dr. King was trying to get us to focus on so that we could, in fact, save our democracy. It is interesting to me as I write this book on Dr. King now, which I'll talk a bit about. The good news is that because I'm still working on it, you get some of this stuff early here in Rochester. But it is fascinating and interesting and altogether depressing for me to consider that those three issues that Dr. King was trying to get us to focus on, rather, with a laser kind of focus, those three issues are the very issues that we are wrestling with today. King called these three issues the triple threat. The triple threat: racism, poverty, and militarism. Racism, poverty, and militarism. Racism, poverty, and militarism. So don't tell me that Dr. King wasn't a prophet. I tell my Negro friends all the time, my black friends, who I see rocking these T-shirts with Obama and King on the T-shirts. They got T-shirts with Obama and King and hats with Obama and King and anything you can sell with Obama and King on it. We sold a whole bunch of that merchandise during the first inauguration, a little bit less, I think, in the second inauguration for different reasons, which we won't get into today. But a lot of people rocking those T-shirts and memorabilia, I suspect products that will become memorabilia of King and Obama on the cover, on the front. Let me be clear about this. Barack Obama is a good politician. He's a really good politician. But he's a politician. And Martin King was a prophet. And as well-intentioned and as well-meaning as you are, please don't ever get those two things twisted. A prophet is one thing, a president is another. Both, let me go a little further so you tweet this right now. Tweet it right, blog it right. I've been hated on for 6 years. I can handle it, but get it right. A prophet is one thing, a politician or a president is another. And don't get those two things twisted. The prophet's responsibility is to tell the truth, to be constant in season and out of season, to tell the truth whether they want to hear it or don't want to hear it, to tell the truth when they agree with you and when they disagree with you. Your message cannot be poll tested. You're not trying to build consensus. You're trying to lead. And we live in a world now where our fundamental definition of leadership is so twisted. I spoke to a group the other day about the issue of leadership, and I said to them, if you call yourself a leader and you look behind and ain't nobody following you, you just out for a walk. You just out getting some exercise. So everybody wants to call himself or herself a leader, but let me offer you right quick, I'm gonna jump ahead, but let me offer you a definition, my definition of leadership. And I believe for all the books that you'll ever read, and for all the shows that you'll ever watch, and for all the seminars that you'll ever pay for, I believe this is the best definition of leadership you'll ever come across. It's mine. And it comes with a money-back guarantee. I don't care what your profession, your calling, your avocation, your purpose is in life. If you would be a leader, wrestle with this definition right now. Marinate on this beyond our gathering today. Here's my definition of leadership. You can't lead folk unless you love folk. And you can't save folk unless you serve folk. Say that one more time. It's easy to remember. The alliteration works. You can't lead if you don't love, and you can't save if you don't serve. That's it. You got it. You can't lead people if you don't love people. And you can't save people if you don't serve people. By that definition, a whole bunch of folk who call themselves leaders today, they're failing the test. Because love simply means that everybody is worthy just because. I'll say that again. Love just means that everybody is worthy just because.
He's got the whole world in his hand. 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 He's got the woods and the waters in his hand. He's got the woods and the waters in his hand. He's got the sun and the moon right in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hand. He's got the birds and the bees right in his hand. He's got the birds and the bees right in his hand. He's got the beast of the field right in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hand. He's got you and me right in his hand. He's got you and me right in his hand. He's got everybody in his hand. He's got the whole in his hand. He's got the
I won't try to top or follow that, but I saw people sitting down, so it looked like you wanted more. So I just wanted to thank you all for coming. Thank you for your support. Thank you for challenging us. Tavis, thank you for all of the performers today. You left us enriched, definitely. You left us enriched. I'd like to thank my team for their efforts in putting this together, all of the volunteers. I'd like to thank our interpreters. And many of you are growing to know that we are a bit type A in the Division for Diversity and Inclusion. So please join us next year when we are putting the finishing touches on welcoming Soledad O'Brien to RIT. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day and afternoon. And please support this evening as we learn more about the state of race in Rochester 50 years after the riots in '64.